Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of T as in Trell. This is episode 2. Now, I understand it's been a minute since I've done a video. I really been meaning to sit down and film an episode or record an episode for the T as in Trell podcast, but it's just like every time I sit down to try to do it, either the vibes are not right or I'm too busy or there's something else going on that's preventing me from doing that. But I finally reached a place in space where now I'm able to have a little bit more time to sit down and be intentional about filming an episode. I really meant to do this the week before last, but I ended up getting sick. And I'm pretty sure y'all did not want to hear me on camera with a scratchy throat, a stuffy nose, looking a mess. So I just decided to postpone it. And then I went into this week that we're just now ending. For my job, we have an annual training, and I was training that entire week. And whenever I would get home, I would only have a limited amount of time to eat and go to the gym and then lay down to go to sleep because I would have to be up the next day to be bright and early for training. So I just didn't have time this week to do it. But now, today's Saturday, I'm unwinding, I'm dressed in a certain way because I'm about to go to a pool party. So I'm excited to do that, hang out with some friends, relax or whatever. But on to the topic at hand. While I was gone, there has been a few life updates, a few things that I've really been into. And one of those things is podcasts, which, of course, I'm into podcasts because I have my own. But I was really basing my podcast experience, whatever you want to call it, how I want to run my podcast off of one podcast. And it was We Said What We Said by Ricky Dillon and Denzel Dion. But recently I listened to the max number of episodes that I'm able to listen to because they aren't making any more right now. I don't know if they're ever going to make any more. And I was sad about that, but I really enjoy podcasts and the format and being able to passively listen, and being able to have that as another option aside from riding in silence or, listening to music in my car or at the gym or whatever. But I say all of that to say I found 3 new podcasts that I really enjoy. The first one is going to be The Baddest Radio by Bretman Rock. The second one is going to be Baby This Is Kiki Palmer by Kiki Palmer. And then the last one is going to be Don't Call Me White Girl. Her name is Mona. I don't know what her last name is, but I've been rotating those episodes out, and they're all 3 so different, but I enjoy it because it's giving me a holistic viewpoint of life and everything. They talk about similar topics, but they all have different perspectives and opinions. And it's I'm listening to 3 different friends tell me the same thing, and I'm able to shape my own opinion based off of that. But anyways, I'm taking a concept from Bretman Rock. One of his episodes, he did 26 life lessons for being 26 because he was turning 26. I either was 26 or 25. I don't know. Can't remember. But I am going to bite off of that a little bit and do that myself. So I, prior to this video, wrote down 24 life lessons that I've learned so far. And I want to share them with you all. But before we get into that, if you haven't already watched my previous video, the Meet the Fam video, where you're able to meet my sister, Tia and Tamara, my baby kittens, who are growing and getting on my nerves. I'm just kidding. But if you haven't seen that video, definitely go back and watch that. Like, comment, subscribe. I try to respond to comments as I see them. But then again, I haven't been checking my YouTube channel like that. I kind of just post for fun and worry about data and analytics and getting numbers and all of that later because I'm just doing this for fun. This is my online portfolio. This is just kind of to track myself from where I started to where I want to be. Yes, I have goals, and maybe we could do a video about that where we talk about my goals for, this YouTube channel, for Tia's and Trell, for, what my career, what I'm trying to do in life. We could talk about that a little bit later. But also, if you haven't seen the Florida vlog and you want to, I don't know, watch that, maybe watch that. That video was really good. Every time I watch it, I just feel like I'm transported back to Florida, and I'm there with my friends and I'm chilling and I'm vibing and I'm having a good time, it really makes me miss Florida. And if you are one of those type of people where you're like, ooh, I want to take a group trip, but I don't know like if I should, that video was titled, "This is your sign to book that group trip," because you should book that group trip. So go watch that. And maybe another video concept that I'm thinking of, maybe we go through how I plan a trip. Because the way I plan a trip is for the experience. So our trips, they be a little expensive, I'm not gonna lie, but it's for the experience and everybody ends up having a phenomenal time. And then also with you having a large number of people that are going, the costs are not that expensive, but that's something that we can get into a later video. If that's something that you all want to see, please let me know, because I love planning for trips. We might be planning for another trip soon. We just got to figure out where we gonna go. But anyways, jumping into the 24 I'm gonna call it 24 for 24. That's gonna be the title of this episode. So we're gonna jump into the first one. I have them in no specific order, so I'm probably just gonna jump around on the list and I'll just mark them off so I don't come back to it and say it twice. But the first one, I feel like this one is a really important one. Play just as hard as you work. So don't let work overconsume you and your life. Like, at some point, you're going to have to stop. You're going to have to relax. You're going to have to, give to yourself. So just as hard as you're out there working, and I've done this, and what am I trying to say? See, sometimes I be getting stuck, but I did this myself this week because I was going through training all week, and I had to be there, be present, and it was low-key kind of draining because I was there all day, and I don't really get to take the breaks that I usually take when I'm just working a normal work day. But this weekend, I made sure to have some things where I'm able to just relax and have fun and really not care about anything. So I'm devoting this entire Saturday, this entire Sunday to me just doing whatever the hell I want to do. So when I say play just as hard as you work, play just as hard as you work. Moving on. I guess this kind of goes like hand in hand with play just as hard as you work, but it's also a little bit differently. What I've always told people is you have to have an equal parts ratchetness and righteousness. So like, just as much as you are, what am I trying to say? Equal parts ratchetness and righteousness. So like, I guess I'm trying to say like, because I wrote this list a while ago, y'all. I'm not even going to hold you. But I guess with that, I really feel like you need to have a place where you can unwind and be yourself. Have those moments where you unwind and be yourself to the fullest. Like, you can't maintain the image that other people perceive of you 24/7. At some point, the real you has to come out. And I get it. Some people are really authentic where they just show every side of themselves. And I'm one of those people where I kind of show every side of myself, but also I have a certain side of me that I only let certain people see. And then other people get to see another side. It's whatever. Everybody does that, by the way. So I'm not fake. But at some point in time, you have to have a little bit equal parts ratchetness and equal parts ratchet. Ooh, actually, I don't think that's what I meant by that. Now that I'm thinking of it, I'm thinking like, okay, for example, if I go out and I'm drinking and I'm having a good time, the next day I'm going to do something to kind of counterbalance that. So I'm going to, I don't know, maybe go to the gym, maybe eat some fruits and vegetables, maybe do a liquid IV. Like, I'm going to ensure, like, I did all this damage by drinking and, tearing up my liver. I'm going to give to my body and let my body know that I love it and put some things into it that's going to make it happy. So that's what I mean by kind of like equal parts ratchetness and righteousness. Like, that can be applied to pretty much everything, like work, like, again, play just as hard as you work. Or I don't know. It can be applied to things. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry. Moving on from that one, because that one I remember writing down, but I should have wrote a little paragraph for like what I meant by that. But anyways, another big one. So I wrote, no one is guaranteed to stand up for you. Always be prepared to stand up for yourself. That is something that I had to learn the hard way. Like, I really felt like I always was going to have a friend that was going to say something, even if I couldn't say it, like, especially if I was going through a situation where I felt like people were coming at me and this is applied to, like, you know, when I was in grade school, like high school or like middle school or whatever. And also in college as well, too. Like, I always thought that I was going to have a friend that was going to be like, oh, you know, don't say that to my friend, whoop, 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 whoop. But I've learned through, like, hard situations, like, sometimes somebody will come at you and nobody around you will say anything. Nobody will defend you, no nothing. And you can't rely on people to do that for you. You have to do that for yourself. You always got to make sure that you're standing 10 toes behind yourself before anybody else, because you're not guaranteed to have anybody to do that for you. So every time I pray, I always include that in my prayer. And I ask God to help me to have the confidence to stand up for myself, even if it's for, like, with somebody that I'm, like, you know, let me not say scared of, because I'm not really scared of anybody, but somebody that I'm just like, ooh, I don't really know, like, if I say anything, if it don't mean anything. Saying something means something. So being sure to stand up for yourself first. Don't rely on anybody to do that. Yeah, do that. Okay, moving on to another one. I don't know why my phone keeps locking. Maybe because I keep locking it. Another one that I learned recently is, if someone wants to do something nice for you, let them. I have a bad habit of, like, not wanting people to do anything nice for me. Like, for instance, my friend, they went out to, this was when I was, like, in Waco and Austin, which was a couple weekends ago. My friend had went out to HEB and they ended up getting, like, food to cook for us for the night, because we were spending the night or whatever, me and my sister. But also, like, they got, like, some of the favorite thing, like some of my favorite snacks, like wine and stuff like that, so we could all have a good time. And I'm like, oh, let me, you know, tell me how much my part was and I'll cash app you. And they were like, no, like, you know, I got this. Y'all are guests. Like, I want to treat you all. And I'm like, no, let me know, because I just feel bad. Like, I don't want to break your bank. Like, let me know. And they were like, Trell, let me do this for you. Let me be nice and let me do this for you. Like, if somebody, and they told me, and which is why I added to my list, if somebody wants to do something nice for you, let them. Like, don't stop them. And I'm like, you know what? I need to start doing that, because I find myself in a bad habit of being like, oh, if somebody pays for something, let me know my half, I'll pay for it. Or, you know, if they buy something for me, like, oh, thank you. Now I feel like I have to go out and buy something for them to return the favor. Like, no, like, if they want to do something nice, let them do it. Like, take that, let people celebrate you. You know, don't feel like you always have to go out there and, like, you know, again, counterbalance. Like, from what I was saying before, if somebody does something nice, you feel like you got to run out and do something. No, if they want to do that, let them do that. And don't stop them from doing that, because you deserve that. But moving on to another one. Ooh, this is a good one. So what works for them may not work for you, and that's okay. So I had to learn this the hard way as well, too. Like, I always see other people, especially if they become successful in an area that I'm trying to become successful in. I always feel like I could low-key kind of bite off their style and do that. Like, ooh, I can do that. And then I start doing that and it doesn't work for me, and then I get upset. And so I just, at some point in time, I don't know who I heard this from. Maybe I didn't hear it from anybody. Maybe I just came to a self-realization. But I just came to a point where I'm like, okay, this is not going to work for me. This is not going to go the exact same way. I just need to start being realistic about that. And so instead of having these high expectations or putting high expectations on something because I did it the same way that this person did it, I started giving myself a little bit more grace when it came to the process of things. So, like, this may be unorthodox or this may be untraditional, but I have this goal and I'm going to reach this goal by any means necessary, even if it means not doing it the same way that other people are doing it. So I just wanted to relay that to y'all. Like, sometimes things are going to be unorthodox or untraditional, but you just have to kind of trust the process type of thing. Because yeah, what's going to work for them may not work for you. Sometimes it works for you and that's perfect, but it's not going to be like guaranteed. Like, if you do this is going to work for you. And I had to learn that a lot with like podcasting and being on YouTube as well too, because I'm looking at all these other YouTubers and I'm incorporating things that they've done and things that that made them successful. And I'm like, why am I not getting the same success? But again, all of our paths are different. If there was like a guide, a surefire guide for people to do something and be successful with it, there wouldn't be no definition of success, because we'd all be like at that same point. We'd all be at that same level. Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about, obviously. So let me move on. Let's see. My phone keep blocking. Another one. Hold on, let me mark it off. Do what you can and give yourself grace. I had to learn. I know I keep saying I had to learn this the hard way. I think all of these I had to learn the hard way. So let me just say that. But do what you can and give yourself grace. Like, especially with my work, I'm the type of person where I feel like I can do it all and I can be an achiever, which I can, but that's how you like burn out easily, trying to overachieve, trying to be this person that like, I'm going to write a list down at the beginning of the day and I'm going to get this, and this done. Sometimes I do that and I get all of the stuff that I wrote down done. But some days I don't. And I found that in the past, when I did that, I would get upset and I'd be like, dang, like I made this list. Why did I not get this done? Like, I should have got this done. And I put a lot of pressure on myself because of that. But through working full time and going to grad school and trying to do this on the side as well too, I just realized, hey, you know what? I'm going to do what I can for the day. Hence why it took me so long to get this podcast done, because there were days where I'm like, I put my podcast on my to-do list to do for the day, but I would get through everything else but couldn't get through this because I just didn't have the energy and I was just so doggone tired and I really needed to relax. And so, I just had to say to myself, look, I'm doing the best that I can. I'm going to do what I can do for the day. And then what else I can't do, I'm going to just have to move for another day. Like, I'm going to have to. If I don't, then I'm going to be overworked. I'm going to be tired. Like, there's going to be consequences if I don't allow myself to rest. So do what I can and just give myself grace about it. Like, I'm not going to jump down my own throat and be like, dang, you wrote all this stuff down and you can't get this one measly thing done. Like, again, just give yourself grace, pat yourself on the back, reward yourself for the things that you have done, and the things that you have yet to do, it's fine. You will get them done. Do not stress yourself out, because the more you stress yourself out and get yourself anxious about doing it or give yourself anxiety about doing it, you're not going to want to do it. So just be like, look, I'll get it done at a later time. It will get done regardless. It just may not get done right now. But moving on, okay, another one. Ooh, this is a good one. And I feel like this is very important in today's day and age, where I feel like people have really lost compassion for one another and compassion for other human beings. So what I have written down is, it costs nothing to be kind. It costs nothing to be kind. I don't know how many times that I can say that, but I have people that I know. I have people that I don't know. I've seen people on social media who are just so uncompassionate and so, like, for lack of better words, mean. Like, there's nothing wrong with you complimenting somebody. There's nothing wrong with you maybe going the extra mile to help somebody out. Like, I try to do that because I have had instances where people who don't even know me have even given me a compliment or like have gone the extra step to just make me feel heard or make me feel like I'm important. And that matters to people. So I always tell people it costs nothing to be kind. I'm always going to treat people with respect, and I'm always going to make sure to do right by people because I want people to do right by me. So make sure that you're doing that. Even if you go out today, matter of fact, I'm gonna challenge everybody. If you hear this podcast, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what time, well, it does kind of matter what time of day it is, but just give somebody a compliment. Tell them that you, I don't know, like their clothes, you like their smile, or if you're at work right now and you're listening to this, maybe go the extra mile for somebody. Tell them something that, you may not traditionally tell people, but you know that they're a good person and you're trying to help them out. Maybe help them out a little bit extra than the other people that you would be helping out. But again, it costs nothing to be kind, so do that. Like, I swear, we're not going to charge you. You don't have to write this off on your taxes. Just be nice. But, and then aside from that, or not aside from that, but kind of like no, never mind. Okay, moving on. So these, I guess, kind of go hand in hand. The first one, and I'm sorry, y'all, I'm still kind of getting over my sickness a little bit too, but I'm not like contagious sick. It's just like stuffy nose, wake up in the morning, have to cough a little bit to get my voice right. But anyways, experience. You, and this, another thing that I wrote down too, you only get to be the age that you are once, live in the moment. So experience and that kind of go together. You really only get to be the age that you are once. So you want to make sure that you are making the most of it. I want to, and my mom kind of ingrained this in me as well too, because she's always told me like, if she died today, God forbid, she would, or if she got sick and she was on her deathbed, that's what she would say. She would be able to look back on her life and be like, I didn't have any regrets because I did everything that I wanted to do. And that kind of got ingrained in me as well too. So I'm always conscious about like, if I have the opportunity to go out like with friends, or if I have the opportunity to take a trip, or if I have the opportunity to do something that I've never done before, I'm going to do it because I'm not guaranteed to have that opportunity again. Like life is about an experience, and your experience is what you make it. So right now, for me being 24, I'm going to be out here and be young and dumb. I'm going to make some mistakes, and that's fine. I'm going to get over it. I'm going to have my moments where I can't believe I did that. I'm going to have my moments where I'm like so proud that I did that. Whatever. I'm going to take this experience for what it is, and I'm going to make it my own. So if I have to make some mistakes, if I have to fall down, get back up, pick myself up by the bootstraps, whatever, I'm going to do that because this is my experience, and, I'm going to make it for the one that I want it to be. So when it comes to trips, I'm always going to book that vacation time. This is for the people that, have a whole lot of vacation time and are just not taking it because they feel like, oh, I'm going to use it one day, but still never use it. Book that trip. Allow yourself to relax. Even if you don't want to take a trip, book that time to just take a week off and do nothing. But again, like I said before, this is an experience. Life is an experience. You got to make it the one that you want it and one that you can enjoy. So, yeah. That was 2 that I just crossed off because they kind of went hand in hand. This one kind of went, and I can cross this one off as well too, but we kind of talked about this a little bit before. But trust the process, even if it's untraditional. Like I said before, your pathway is your pathway. It is unique to you. It is created for you. It has already been predetermined. So all you can do is kind of like go with the flow. Like you have a goal in mind, have a direction, but don't get so bent up about how you get there because for some people it's going to be easier. Some people it's going to be a little bit harder. And you just have to recognize that. Like, everybody's goals, they could align, they could be the same. But again, like, what's going to work for them is going to work for them, and what's going to work for you is going to work for you. And this also kind of goes in hand with what's meant for you is meant for you. So, yes, we could have a goal, but we may not. So, for instance, There was one point in time that I really wanted. Well, I don't know if I should say that. I don't know if I should say that. Let me think of something else. Okay, so when I was job hunting, I'll speak to that a little bit. Before I got my first full time big boy job, like I had just graduated and I was going through the interview and application process for many different jobs. Excuse me. Oh, I get to talking for so long and then my throat gets dry. So I'm gonna have to get some water in a second. But back to what I was saying, I was going through the interviewing process for so many different jobs. I was getting so many no's. I was getting like so many interviews and then a no. Like there were a couple jobs that I really felt like, oh, this is for me. This is for me. Like this job, it felt like it was crafted for me. And then I would go and interview for it and I would get a call back and it'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. Decided to go with another candidate. And I'd just be like, oh, dang, why? Because I'm a spiritual person, I would talk to God and I'd be like, look, like I felt like this job was made for me. Like you put this in place and I felt like you wanted me to apply to this because everything on that job application was speaking for me. So why didn't I get the job? And I just had to learn, like, what is meant for me is going to be meant for me. And there's nothing that there's nothing that I could do to mess that up. And it speaks to another experience as well, too, where I would get so hopeful about something that I would just like be walking on eggshells about it and like being like, oh, I can't do this because I don't want to mess this end goal up. And yeah, sometimes you have to do that, but also you have to recognize like what is meant for you is meant for you. So there's nothing that you can do to mess it up because God already wants this for you. So just do this, just live, just go about it the best way that you can. If you make a mistake, that's fine. That's not going to immediately result into you, not getting your end goal or not meeting your goal or whatever. But again, moral of the story is what's meant for you is meant for you. Nothing you can do to mess it up. So just live. Okay, moving on. And I like to think I'm okay at giving advice. Sometimes I'm not the best at explaining things. So interpret these things the way that you want to interpret them. I'm just kind of giving you my interpretation of them. Also, what goes kind of hand in hand with that is delayed does not mean denied. I actually learned this from a couple of my friends because there would be so many instances where I would have this overarching end goal and I would think that I'm about to hit it and then boom, something would happen and it kind of sets me back a couple steps. And I'm like, well, dang, like now I feel like I'm starting over. Like what's going on? Like maybe I should quit. And they will remind me like delayed does not mean denied. So you have to kind of just continue to push forward for this. Like if you give up now, like you're definitely not going to get it. But if you take this setback for what it is and you overcome it and you continue to keep going, the goal that you reach is going to be so much more worth it because you took the time and the effort to overcome that setback and still push forward to reach your goal. So again, delayed does not mean denied. Keep pushing forward. Like you're going to get what you want to get, even if you have to take a couple steps back to go 10 steps forward. Let me pick one from the top. The first one that I wrote down was move in silence. Only tell people you trust about prospects. So like jobs, new opportunities. Yes, I had to learn this the hard. Oh, I feel like I keep saying that a lot. But yes, I did have to learn this the hard way myself as well. Like I would get so excited about things that I didn't achieve yet, but I just know that I felt like I was going to achieve. And I would start telling everybody. And in some instances, that's good. Like tell people that you trust about stuff like that. But don't just go around telling everybody because you don't know other people's intentions. Like people may have a secret hate for you. They may have a secret dislike for you and could be actively plotting on your downfall. And you may have just told them everything that they needed to know to kind of hurt you or kind of set you back. So just again, make sure you move in silence. Like everybody doesn't need to know every aspect of every move that you're making or things that you're going to do. Because again, people could have that secret dislike and they could be hating on you and they just want to see you fail. And they do something to just kind of throw a monkey wrench in everything that you're trying to do. So move in silence. You can always tell God about it, and he will be your friend while you're moving in silence. And then once you reach your goal, tell everybody about, what you did to get there. Like, tell your story. But in the beginning, when it's not set in stone, don't do that yet. Because, yeah, that'll mess you up. But moving on. Kind of speaking to what I was saying before, I'll go ahead and mark this off. When in doubt, pray. I don't know if anybody else out here is religious, spiritual. I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. So I have my own relationship with God. But when in doubt, pray. Like, I had to get into the habit of, like, I'm not going to continue to stress myself out about things that make me worry. I'm going to just put it in God's hands and just let it be that. Or if I'm really wanting something, I'm not going to continue to worry myself about, like, ooh, if I'm going to get this, like, I really need to get this. Like, I need this because X, Y, Z. I'm going to just put this in God's hand. I'm going to let him know I need this because I want this because of this. And then I'm going to just give it to him and let him handle it